All 30 teams in the NBA play their 81st game of the season tonight. All 30 teams in the NBA will play their 82nd game of the season on Sunday. I'm not going to be around to do a Teddy's Tips on Sunday, so we better do one for today. All 15 games. Let's go through them and talk about what's happening in the marketplace and how we can take advantage. Teddy's Tips, powered by WagerTalk. Each and every weekday, although today is the last Friday of the regular season. In the postseason, not enough games. Teddy's Tips I need 5, 6, 4. I need some kind of a card every day to do it. So what we'll do in the postseason, I will be doing free pick videos for WagerTalk.com. I'm going to do one each and every day that I can. We'll try to have at least 5 of those up a week for you. But even more, perhaps, at the start of the postseason. Be sure, subscribe to WagerTalk TV on YouTube. And be sure to check out my homepage each and every day, wt.buzz/TC. Okay, let's start with Wise Guy totals. And there's 3 that stand out. The first one's the biggest, the Heat and the Wiz. That total last night was sitting as high as 250.5. What am I seeing right now? Look at the Odds Logic live odds screen. 246.5, juice to the under for Miami and Washington. And I'll tell you what, the Heat are laying 17.5, 18 points in this ball game. Miami hasn't been winning a whole lot of games by 18 plus, although the Wizards are on the second back-to-backs. It's an ugly game. It's an ugly card tonight. I found one play, one bet that I made that I advise my clients to make at WagerTalk. Out of the 15 games, I found one. But there's lots of digging to be done. And certainly, it's a Miami team. I don't trust this, Chuck. Miami's not showing the force of character right now. The Heat, in theory, are supposed to want to play fast and kind of push their tempo on people. Well, that hasn't been the case in recent games. The Wizards aren't playing in defense. These two teams did fly over the total when they met last week. That being said, under money has come for tonight. Miami and Washington. In terms of Wise Guy totals, that's the single strongest Wise Guy total. 2 others worth noting. Pistons, Hornets over. And that one kind of surprised me. I wasn't expecting that. I was looking at 223.5 last night. I'm seeing 225.5, 226 out there right now. I think this has something to do with the fact, Kate Cunningham's going to play for Detroit. It looks like Kobe White is going to be able to go for Charlotte. White missed the last game versus the Celtics. And you say, the backup point guard, why is he going to affect the total? Kobe White's instant offense off the bench. Charlotte needs him to be successful. When he sits, that second unit is dramatically different than it is when he plays. White expected to play, money for the over with the Pistons and the Hornets. One more worth talking about. That's 76ers and the Pacers. And again, looking at the Odds Logic live odds screen right now for Indiana and Philly, that total I'm seeing as low as 232.5 right now. Was sitting at 234.5 last night. So we've seen some under money for Philadelphia and Indiana. Like the 76ers are playing with pace. They sit under the total last night. The market's expecting more of the same today for a Sixers team that remains shorthanded without Joel Embiid. So that's the 3 Wise Guy totals that I've seen for Friday. Stuff that got pounded in the overnight hours. And the markets have continued to move that way in the early morning hours, at least here, early morning on the left coast. It's already noon, already afternoon. It's already 1 o'clock for you guys back east. But I'm in Vegas, man. Everything for me is West Coast time. So it's still morning here in Las Vegas. And again, these numbers could still very much move between now and tonight. But at least in the overnight early betting action, we've seen those 3 totals. Heat Wiz under, Pistons Hornets over, 76ers Pacers under. If you're talking about betting game 81 and 82 of the NBA season, the injury report is as important as anything. I talked about Kobe White as a key injury factor for today. Just now popping up on the Odds Logic live odds screen, Anthony Edwards for Minnesota upgraded to available to play. Julius Randle has been downgraded to out. So Minnesota is still going to be shorthanded. Rudy Gobert also sitting for the T-Wolves. Jaden McDaniels expected to play. And what are the markets doing with Edwards in or Edwards available and Randle out? Note that difference. But the markets for, and again, that's the beauty of having the Odds Logic live odds screen. You can see the reaction in real time. So what's the money coming for? Houston, Rockets now up to 11/11.5. Even with Ant available to play, the Randall absence, the Gobert absence, we've seen money for the Rockets so far in early betting action today. And boy, we talk about the injury report. I mean, I can go through game after game. I probably should just go through the injury report for today because you talk about what matters today. That's what matters. And obviously, I talked about Kobe White, who's available right now. No injury report yet for the Heat and Wizards. And it's worth noting, this is something I wanted to talk about for sure. There were 4 games last night that didn't have overnight lines. All teams that played yesterday, and the markets were waiting to react. That was Brooklyn, Milwaukee. There was no overnight line for that ball game. The Nets on the second of back-to-backs. OKC, Denver. There was no overnight line for that. So everything we've seen for this game has come this morning. Golden State, Sacramento. The Warriors now on the second of back-to-back off that bad loss to the Lakers last night. And the Suns and the Lakers also a game that had no overnight line. Suns already locked in to their playoff position. The Lakers had a nice win without Reeves and without Reeves and Doncic, Luka last night. They really get straight up win, but tonight against Phoenix, things may be a little bit tougher in that regard. Certainly, Phoenix, the road chalk against LA on the second of back-to-backs. It's also worth noting all 15 teams play tonight. All 30 teams play 15 games tonight. But back-to-backs, that last back-to-back, teams sometimes can be a real step slow. Miami, Washington both played last night. Toronto, New York both played last night. Philly, Indiana both played last night. But Boston is laying 17 points on the second of back-to-backs tonight against New Orleans. New Orleans just hung franchise high in points against Utah the other night. So they haven't quit just yet. Worth noting, Celtics in the back-to-back there. Brooklyn on the back-to-back against Milwaukee. The Nets are even sitting. Their rookies are now sitting. Been benched for the season. It's just, G League guys and guys on two-way contracts, which just explains why Milwaukee is laying 9.5 points tonight. You want to talk about an ugly game? That's as ugly as it gets in the NBA. I will not be involved in that one this evening. There was another one that I wanted to talk about here with Brooklyn and the Nets and the Bucks. What was it? Orlando and Chicago. And it's worth noting, leading indicator books for the Magic are at 15.5 there versus 15 for everybody else. Yeah, I'm a little bit meandering today. What do you want? It's one of the. So when there's 15 games on the NBA card, and let's talk about this because we're not going to see this again. I'll see it on Sunday, and then after this, there'll be most 4 games in any given night. But when there's 15 games in the card, you got to sit and you work a group. I tend to work 3-4 games, take a little break so I clear my head, get a little caffeine, work 3 or 4 more games. I don't like to sit down and do like a 5-hour session without taking a break for a minute. It helps me to refresh myself. But when you have 15 games, that's a long session to sit down with. And you got to give yourself the time to do it. So if you're going to play Sunday's action, give yourself some time Saturday night to go through all these games. And the beauty of there are no games on Saturday this week. So I don't know if this is a great show. I like Teddy's tips. We're going to do it again in the fall. We're going to do free play videos every day throughout the postseason. At least every day there's someone to put them in for. So I can't promise them on Sundays, but at least 5 days a week I'll have you a free play video on my homepage, www.buzz.tc. There is one deal worth noting right now, just put up last night, and it's a summer spectacular. It gets you every play, every day, in every sport through August 31st. So we're going to get baseball. You're going to get the NBA playoffs. You're going to get the preseason football. You're going to get week 1 of college. All included. Nothing more to buy. No bait and switch. 5% in. $7.49. Every play, every day through August 31st. If you're interested, you can use it for me. You can use it for any other cappers at WagerTalk.com. Just check out wt.buzz/TC or the website, WagerTalk.com. Thank you, guys. This has been fun. Appreciate the comments. And again, we'll be doing daily free play videos. So don't worry. Teddy's Tips will be back in the fall. And between now and then, check out all the free content at WagerTalk.com. Check out my homepage, wt.buzz/TC. And have yourself a great Friday and a great weekend. Thanks for watching. Genuinely appreciate it. Cheers.